This is part one of the graphs application lesson. During this lesson, or this part of the lesson, we will look at graphing functions and displaying those functions in a table. To start with, we need a graphs application. To get a graphs application, press Menu, choose number 2, Add Graphs. When you do that, you get an entry line at the lower portion of the screen and a quadrant in the upper portion. Notice the cursor defaults to the entry line. We're going to enter the quadratic x squared minus 4. So I type x, the x squared key, minus and 4. I press enter and the function is displayed. I want to enter a second function. I'm going to go and hover over the chevron in the lower right hand corner of the screen. That says show entry line. When I click on that, it defaults the cursor to F2, the second function. In this case, I want to enter x plus 2, the linear function, x plus 2. Again, to get it to display, I press enter. And now they're both on the screen. Now notice both labels are on, one is on top of the other. It's kind of hard to read. If I hover over one of the labels, it will gray out. And if I click on that, now I can grab that label and say I want to move that off to an area where I can read it a little better. I may want to do that also with the other label. What's nice now in this newer version of the software is the label is the same color as the function that is graphed. That makes it pretty easy to figure out which one is which. Next, I'd want to create a table or insert a table into this screen. To do so, I go to Menu, under View, number 2, I go to A, Show Table. I could also do that with a Control-T on the keypad. So I click on Show Table, and I now have a table of the values of both functions f1 and f2 displayed. Note in this table that the x values are starting at 0 and going up by 1 as the change in the table. Also notice that we have a split screen here. In the split screen, we can tell which part of the screen is active by which part is highlighted. If you notice, the table part is highlighted in bold. To highlight the graph portion, I can click over there, and you notice that in the graph portion is now highlighted. I'm going to go back and click in the table and notice it's highlighted. I possibly would want to change the table increments here. So to change any of those, the x values, I'm going to press Menu, go to Table. There's lots of things I can do here, but in this case I want to just edit the table settings. Maybe I want this table to start at -4. I can change the table set. Maybe I change that to 2. To get to the next field, I just choose Tab and press 2. And then if I keep tabbing, I will tab down to OK and press Enter. And notice the x values now start at -4 and increment by 2. Maybe I don't want the table in the screen anymore, and I just want the graph. To do that, I need to select the portion of the screen that I want to remove, and in this case, I noticed that the table is bold, but to delete it, I must do a Control K, Control K, and when I do that, I should get a blinking blue line around here. I don't know why that's gone away. I think it has something to do with the recording device I'm using for my smartboard. But once that is blinking in light blue, I press Delete, and the table will go away.